timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
¿Dónde?
Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use currently at 92.9%.
Ah, mierda. Esto es un riesgo laboral. ¿Slug no lo ha visto o qué?
Searching slug work logs. No work log found. Creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees.
Esto es normal.
Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company property. Slug, already unlike most corporations in a variety of ways, does not. That or the employees tasked with inspecting are shirking their duties. For shame.
Encender cocina.
Wait, Captain. Okay then.
Performing scan. Gaslight appears to have gone out some time ago. Chance of explosive combustion without gaslight, 0.01%.
Concluir inspección. Chef Ambar.
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you'll have to wait. Oh, don't give me that look. Let me see if I can pencil you in for later. Actually, what am I saying? I can't do that. I'm booked for the next month. You'll have to make a reservation.
Oh, nada de ratrucha ahumada y solomillo de cánido con reducción de lila mora.
Weren't you listening? We're reserved solid for the next month. I'm sorry, but you'll really need to order in advance.
¿Por qué hablas de comida? ¿No te importa el crimen que acaba de cometerse?
Crime or no crime, I must keep my head on my work. One does not simply become the head chef in all of Eridanos by fretting over irrelevant happenings.
¿Desde cuándo un asesinato es irrelevante? Ha sucedido a 5 metros de tu cocina.
Well, it didn't happen in my kitchen. Who exactly are you anyhow? What is it you want?
Estoy aquí para investigar el asesinato de Cayetana del Sion. Me gustaría hacerte unas preguntas.
You're the inspector? Here? Why? I mean, you may ask me whatever you want. I have nothing to hide.
Ya veremos. ¿Preparabas todas las comidas de Cayetana?
Of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest.
¿Seguro que no había nadie más implicado?
Well, yes, I'm positive. Why?
Aquí hay algo que no me cuadra. ¿Por qué no me dices la verdad?
How? Oh, fine. There may have been times I left Helen's meal unsupervised. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients.
¿Alguna idea de dónde puedo encontrar el botones Owens?
Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve.
Creo que ese Owens
Our
está
guests
muerto.
can be rather particular. Let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon pheromone glands. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek to the reserve myself. Otherwise, who knows how long you'll have to wait.
¿Qué hacía Spencer Bullrich en la cocina?
Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals wanting. He seems to enjoy complaining in person. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys the attention he gets from us. Though don't tell him I said as much. If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich can most likely be found in his suite on the VIP guest floor. He's usually there if he's not poking around here.
¿Por qué has evitado tanto el tema de haber dejado la comida de Cayetana desatendida?
Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it?
Porque algunas combinaciones de comidas del Sion se vuelven ácidas cuando se dejan desatendidas.
What? Truly? That's an alarming business oversight. Instead of volatile chemicals, the corporations should put barbiturates in everything. Everyone likes barbiturates. but I don't believe that was a risk with Helen's meal. I was, up to something else. I may have taken some time to engage in a teensy bit of recreational drinking, and consequently, I may have been somewhat less than coherent after preparing Helen's meal.
Tu coartada flaquea un poco. ¿Por qué debería creer nada de lo que dices?
I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, I just remembered. The kitchen security camera. It'll prove I'm telling the truth about everything. Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her office at the spaceport. If you visit her, you can figure out what truly happened with Helen's meal.
Eso es todo lo que quería preguntarte. Supongo que acabaremos sabiendo si dices la verdad.
Thank you for your understanding, Inspector. I'm sure you'll find the true culprit before long.
Seguro.
Welcome back, hopefully, law-abiding individual. Engaging guilt-tripping subroutines. You haven't committed any crimes lately, have you? Please speak.
Maté, pero eran todos malos,
into
creo.
this unit's recording instruments.
La gendarme Keene ha muerto.
Understood. This unit requires a moment to process this information. Information processed. Personal designation upgraded to acting constable. Thank you, law-abiding consumer.
Me vendría bien tu ayuda para encontrar al asesino.
Error. This unit is incapable of inspection, deduction, unassisted apprehension, or aggressive pursuit.
¿Fuiste tú? ¿Tú mataste a Keene?
This unit has been programmed to adhere to board law. This unit is incapable of experiencing murderous or unlawful impulses.
Está bien, gracias por la charla.
This unit has been programmed to recommend a wine to pair with your grief. Wash away your sorrows with a glass of highly concentrated, partially fermented purple berry wine. Has a body richer than Byzantium's elite, with an earthy aftertaste redolent of mostly oak. Purple berry wine coming soon from Rizzo's.
Es una pérdida de tiempo. Buscar grabaciones de la cocina. Ok. ¿Y que la tengo que ver o algo? ¿Cómo hago para ver esto? Tiro rayas. Mueren. Uy. Mataron al concejal Owens. Díganme que no, tenía que responderme muchas preguntas. Y ustedes no saben hablar en inglés ni en español, por supuesto. Así que no me van a poder decir nada. Sí, acá está. Fractura del botón Owens. Un listado de competiciones especiales de los huéspedes. Entre las bebidas y los aperitivos hay algo que llama la atención. Una glándula de terorraya fresca a nombre de Spencer Woolrich. Creo que debería ir a hablar otra vez con Spencer Woolrich.
I could not have waited another instant for your presence. The Canes and the Canids, Act 2, Scene 6. I played a love-struck janitor. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
Me he enterado de un par de cosas sobre tus actividades en el hotel.
Oh, have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense.
Pregunta rápida. ¿Para qué querías una glándula biliar de terorraya?
What? That damned bellhop promised discretion. Well, if you must know, it's an appetite suppressant. How do you think I keep my form so lithe? Terror ray glands keep me from feeling hunger pangs.
Tengo un video de seguridad en el que se te ve manipulando la comida de Cayetana.
Tampering? No, no, no. I just happened to be passing through the kitchen and saw a dish that looked good. If being hungry is a crime, you better indict 3/4 of Halcyon.
Si las glándulas de terrorraya son supresoras del apetito y te tomaste una, no habrías tenido hambre.
Oh, well, there's... Maybe I just wanted to see what was in it. Oh, law. What a pathetic defense. As it so happens, I may not have had the terror gland acquired for personal use. I may have placed it in Bellamy's meal. But before you indict me, please, just listen. I wasn't trying to kill her.
Entonces mentiste cuando dijiste que te envenenaron.
Lie is such a strong word. But even if I had chosen to poison myself, the danger should have been minimal. Terror ray glands aren't supposed to be lethally poisonous. They're supposed to cause extreme lethargy, as if you'd inhaled several quarts of Spectrum vodka. She would have had to eat 6 or 7 of the glands to die, and even then it would be an extended, arduous process.
Entonces, ¿por qué lo hiciste?
I was just getting to that. I only wanted her to be incapacitated during the Brown unveiling. With her out of commission, the next available celebrity, myself, would get to host the unveiling. Please think twice about telling the administrator of my misdeeds. If he learns the truth, what's left of my career will be left in shambles.
¿Y qué quieres que le diga?
Tell him it was a poisonous mushroom or a bite from some poisonous insect, an accident. I promise I shall make up for my actions. Pay to erect a statue in Helen's honor, or perhaps even dedicate a performance to her memory.
Ya veré si le digo la verdad o no. Prefiero mantenerte en vilo.
My law, if you aren't a sadist. If I have a coronary before you make your decision, I will do my utmost to haunt you.
No creo que haya sido este.
Inspector, I've just received word that Constable Keene is dead. Please tell me it isn't true.
La asesinaron en su despacho.
Halcyon Helen, Leora Blossom, Maria Keene. There's a murderer on the loose, Inspector.
Ciertamente.
You must stop them. I don't have Maria to count on anymore, so I'm counting on you.
Quien quiera que la asesinara usó la hipodérmica.
The Needler was among Helen's belongings. Whoever stole it must have been able to slip in and out of the hotel. Maria was my sole representative in Cedric's territory. The entire hotel staff is on his payroll. Any one of them could have killed her on his behalf.
¿Era importante para ti?
Maria devoted her entire life to our vision. She was absolutely committed to our company, to our project. I promised myself I'd reward her after we launched Spectrum Brown. I'd make sure she was comfortable for the rest of her life. She was also our voice of reason. She was sensible, and I appreciated her advice. I never got to tell her that.
He consultado su terminal. ¿Por qué manipulaste a Burbash 3001?
Why were you going through Maria's terminal?
Te veo un poco incómodo. Ya hablaremos de esto en otro momento.
Was there anything else?
He conseguido localizar a Bertie y el agujero negro.
I'm pleased to hear that. Bertie Holcomb is a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers property. When Helen was murdered, Bertie was nowhere to be found. The timing of his disappearance is unfortunate.
Bertie tiene mal genio, pero es inofensivo. Me da un poco de pena.
Try not to feel too bad for him. Bertie is a brilliant athlete. The universe has balanced his talent by making him a slackwit.
No seas tan duro con él. Acaba de perder el amor de su vida.
I don't understand what it was that Helen saw in Bertie. Whatever it was, she seemed to trust him implicitly. He was always on his best behavior around her. Or he tried. I'm not a heartless man, Inspector. I know that losing Helen must have shaken Bertie to his core. Be plain with me, Inspector. Do you believe Black Hole Bertie killed Helen?
La verdad que no.
I'm relieved to hear that. I happen to be something of a fan of the hack attack. I'd hate to see him processed for murder, but we need to be absolutely sure. I'd like you to continue your investigation. Notify me as soon as you're ready to make a formal accusation.
Por cierto, Bertie accedió a quedarse en el Gran Colonial.
I appreciate that. I'd rather keep Bertie within the public eye than let him languish in a bar at the docks. I'll make my report of your investigation into Bertie. Do you have anything else for me?
Creo que voy a subir de nivel.
Inspector?
Ahora sí, continuemos. He investigado a Cedric.
Closely, I trust. Tell me what you found.
Lamento decepcionarte, pero tiene una coartada.
Of course he's got an alibi. He runs Sublight Underground. He probably starts his day by preparing half a dozen alibis. With that in mind, do you think Cedric was responsible for Helen's death?
Estaba torturando a un tipo mientras asesinaban a Cayetana. Tiene una buena coartada.
Fair enough, Inspector. I won't try to influence your judgment any more than I already have. Unfortunately, even I don't have the authority to detain Cedric. His line of work is dangerous, though. There's always a chance for an accident.
Siento decepcionarte, Ludovico. Está estupendamente.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I've already lost Dr. Blossom and Constable Keene, but at least Cedric's alive. The universe is a just place.
He terminado de investigar a Jasmine Leiva, la profeta de la rentabilidad.
Ms. Leiva earned that title, but not for the reasons you'd expect. The profit business has been profitable for the hotel. Not so much for Ms. Leiva's followers. So, tell me, what did you find?
Quiere que la detengan.
She wants to be arrested. That's not the kind of behavior I expect from a suspect. Perhaps she's carrying a guilty conscience. Does the Prophet strike you as a reasonable candidate for Helen's murderer?
Quién sabe, hay que detenerla hasta que concluya la investigación.
Arresting the Prophet could spell the end of her career. But that's a
¿Sabes qué? Creo que puedo subir de nivel otra vez. Me estás
Thank you
dando
for the update,
mucha
Inspector.
experiencia.
I'll include everything you've told me in my official report.
Espera un segundo.
Inspector?
Es Navidad con vos todos los días, Ludovico. Han concluido mis indagaciones sobre el envenenamiento de Cayetana.
Excellent. I trust you have a name for our poisoner.
El autor del envenenamiento no fue otro que Owens, el antiguo Botones.
Bellhop Owens, recently deceased, at least according to my latest report. I wonder what compelled Owens to poison Helen. Professional jealousy, gross incompetence. I suppose we'll never know. In any case, I have a lot of paperwork ahead of me. I'll need to give Mr. Owens a posthumous reprimand. I'd like you to continue investigating Helen's murder. You've found the poisoner, but her killer remains at large.
No sé. Sé quién mató a Cayetana del Sion.
I've been waiting for this. Tell me, Inspector, who killed Halcyon Helm?
Fuiste tú.
I beg your pardon. You think I killed Halcyon Helen?
No sé. Tengo pruebas. Modificaste a Burbash 3001 y trataste de ocultarlo.
There's nothing to prove. I don't understand. Are you trying to make a mockery of justice, or are you really this incompetent? I expect you to deliver the name of Helen's killer. I expect you to deliver results, Inspector. And if you can't withstand the pressure, then I expect you to resign. We're done. Your services are no longer necessary.
Entonces terminamos con el DLC. Te has puesto muy a la defensiva, Ludovico. ¿Tienes algo que ocultar?
I'm defensive, Inspector, because I'm under attack. I am assaulted by your perfidious and baseless accusations.
Pero lo escribiste
You're
todo en una
convinced
computadora,
I
idiota.
murdered
¿Por qué
Halcyon
hiciste
Helen.
eso?
Fine. Show me some evidence.
Tengo datos que demuestran que programaste a Burbash para que atacara a Cayetana.
You what? Now wait just a minute. That data was acquired illegally.
Las pruebas han hablado, confiesa Ludovico.
All right, fine. Let's do this your way. You say I programmed Burbage to fire on Helen. Why? Helen was critical to my operations on Eridanos. I have no reasonable motive.
Tu motivo es esta investigación. Quieres cargarle el muerto a otro.
I admit, I have been encouraging you to resolve this case as quickly as possible. Helen's death is a stain on our reputation. I don't want it becoming permanent. It wasn't enough that she smile for our cameras and kiss a bottle of Spectrum Brown. No, she had to know what was in it, how it was made, why it was made.
Usaste a Burbash para matar a Cayetana y después editaste su memoria para cubrirte las espaldas.
You know, I hesitated to hire you. Not because you're a freelancer or a third party or impossible to control, but because you're one of Halcyon's sharpest engineers. I don't see any point in continuing this charade. Yes, I killed Halcyon Helen. I confronted her in the grand ballroom. One blow to the back of the head. Burbage finished her off. No cameras, no witnesses, no spoiled actors threatening to undermine the future of Halcyon.
Te sacaste algo del pecho, ¿te sentís mejor ahora? ¿El futuro de Halcyon? ¿Qué te traes entre manos?
Spectrum Brown is going to change the face of Halcyon. I'm going to make this colony smile again.
Ah,
Wait,
eso.
don't move a muscle. Someone's just
Vos
tripped my
estás atrás de
alarm.
los gusanillos en
And
los
my
cuellos.
security defenses. And killed my patrols. The distillery is under attack. Someone's after me, Inspector. I need you over here right now.
Inspector, pensé que habías prescindido de mis servicios.
Forget what I said. I'm renewing your contract as of this moment. Damn it. Someone's interfering with my transmission. Can you read the...
No hay respuesta. A ver, gente, ¿lo ayudamos o qué?
Whoever the real killer is, I got a feeling they're going after Mr. Ludovico. We need to catch up to him. Fast.
I guess, if we have to. Getting kind of tired of kicking my heels up in the penthouse all day.
All right. I got nothing going on.
We should definitely go. As for helping him, maybe we take the wait-and-see approach?
From the depths of Terra 2 to the heights of Eridanos, there's no mess that your SAM unit can't unstick, unclog, or unsully.
Think of this as an opportunity to teach Mr. Ludovico the importance of compassion.
Así que ahí hacen el espectro vodka. Y debe estar lleno de todos estos asimilados por los gusanillos. O tal vez no hay absolutamente nada. Cría de parásitos. ¡Uy! Dame. Cuidado donde disparas, Parvati. Gorrito estilo A. Bueno. Todo despejado acá. ¿No?
Gosh, it's actually kind of cheerful. Almost makes you forget they're probably hiding a terrible secret in there.
¿Deberíamos matar a todos los que están alrededor de la fábrica o es perder el tiempo al pet bar? Vamos a hacerlo. Como para que el video no sea pura charla. Ya tengo unos cuantos de esos. Realmente este juego tiene unos problemas muy graves de pacing. ahora la verdad que me hace dudar de si quiero hacer un retorno no triunfal a los Fallout 3, 4, New Vegas. Pero no lo recuerdo con tanta charla. Me parece que estaba como mejor... Estaba mejor administrado los tiempos, la verdad. Había acción, había exploración y había charla. En partes iguales. Acá es todo charla. Todo puta charla. Y a veces disparo mi arma. Y lootear como loco. Bien. Ay, Dios, sangre y muerte por todas partes, sé que sé. A ver, ¿y esto? ¿Y esta? Han Sola. ¿Qué mierda sos? ¿Cayetana de Alción? Cayetana de Alción está muerta. ¿No?
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Buena pregunta.
Is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders?
Creo que te escucha. No, la pregunta es buena. ¿Puedes explicar cómo es posible que sigas viva?
Brace yourself, Inspector.
Hace como 5 horas que estoy tratando de averiguar tu base. ¡Ay!
Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this role with my twin sister, Belinda.
That must have been her sister in the ballroom.
Si no hacen pruebas de sangre.
Few people inhabiting the same life. Existentially challenging.
Mi cerebro.
My condolences.
Ay, qué estupidez.
It must feel like you literally lost part of yourself.
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
No te pareces a la de las fotos. ¿De qué plan me estás hablando?
My plan to save Halcyon. I'm not a murderer, Inspector. I acted in defense. I had to defend Halcyon's future.
Tell the truth, Ludovico. There's nothing safe about Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not parasites. These creatures are symbiotic life forms. They belong to the highest order of life form, capable of living in perfect harmony with humanity. The symbiotes evoke a feeling of joy in their host, a bliss so pure, so profound as to render the most exquisite recreational substance obsolete. Oh, don't you see, Inspector? I want to bring joy back to Halcyon. I want this colony to smile again.
No son simbiontes, he visto cómo se comportan los infestados.
A host only turns violent if they're carrying too many symbiotes, or if they see you as a threat. In its natural state, the relationship between symbiote and host is perfectly harmless. Listen to me. I never wanted to take a life, but I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone destroy this colony's only chance at real happiness. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent.
Los de los laboratorios fue cosa tuya, mataste a la doctora Blossom.
Have you met Dr. Blossom? She was practically a reptile. A cold-blooded psychopath who toyed with human lives in the name of scientific advancement. Leora Blossom wasn't a person. She was a weapon in Ludovico's arsenal. You call it murder? I call it disarming my enemy.
Sé que mataste a la mascota de los todoterrenos.
The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his master.
You're being paranoid. I barely knew the fellow.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes.
¿A cuánta gente mataste, Cayetana?
Ludovico murdered my sister, Inspector. He killed Belinda with his own hands. Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot, they were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do. I went through them.
¿Mataste a la gendarme Keene? Estaba de tu parte.
She was on Ludovico's side. When she realized I was alive, she refused to stay silent. I gave Maria a chance. I told her about Belinda. I asked for her help, but she turned me down. She was honor-bound to report me to Ludovico. Maria had a duty to her company, and I had a duty to Belinda. We both did what we had to. But in the end, I was the faster shot.
Ya he oído suficiente.
You know what you need to do. Help me avenge Belinda. Help me put a stop to this.
Don't listen to her. Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy Halcyon's only chance at real happiness. Think of the future, Inspector. A lifetime of bliss and joy for every colonist in Halcyon. We can make that happen.
Gusanitos de cuello para todos. Voy a ayudarte, Cayetana, pero cuando salgamos de aquí, espero respuestas.
It's a deal.
A far better choice than Ludovico, though Ms. Bellamy does seem a bit obsessed. But then again, some of us may have had a few issues with that ourselves.
We don't have a lot of time. We need to get out of here.
Not so fast. I've sealed the bulkhead doors. You're staying right where you are.
Oh.
I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. If it's any consolation, Helen has brought some remarkably powerful explosives. Your death should be instantaneous. Goodbye, Inspector. Helen, we won't meet again.
Damn it. He sealed us in, but I think I know another way out. Follow me and stay close.
Andando. ¿Y es por tiempo esto? Ok. A ver, espectro vodka bombón, era el único que me faltaba para meter en la maquinita esa. ¿No? O ya lo tenía. A ver.
Head through that door. There's another way out.
Ok. Y ahora va a ser nueva acompañante de viaje. Bien. Bien, 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 bien. Y ahora que... Acá hacen a los gusanillos. Arriba. Excelente.
Nice work, Inspector. We may have put a stop to Ludovico's operations, but he's still at large. He's probably gone into hiding, so we're going to root him out.
¿Cuál es el plan?
This entire complex has been exposed to those parasites. Law only knows how many they've infected. Most of them won't even know they're carrying a parasite inside of them. If they're showing symptoms, it's probably already too late. Boundless energy, insufferable joy, an almost saccharine attitude of optimism.
¿Y no es reversible?
Just like that, parasites bursting out of their bodies, fat and wriggling with vital energy.
Tiene que haber algún tipo de pesticida inocuo para los humanos, letal para los parásitos.
You're a step ahead of me, Inspector. An airborne pesticide of some kind. I think you may be onto something. Let's meet back at your penthouse. We'll ready our next move.
Un momento, tengo preguntas.
Not here. In private, back at the penthouse. Also, I rather like the ambiance there. See you soon, Inspector.
Vámonos. Está acá la Santa Cayetana. Mira cómo le brilla el pelo. ¿Es natural ese color?
It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda.
Está abajo.
Belinda and I practically
Un poco
share a
fría.
life. Losing her feels like losing a limb. She's conspicuous by her absence.
Te doy un minuto.
Thank you, but no. I can't grieve properly while Ludovico's still breathing. So let's see if we can't solve that problem first. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not gonna sit idly by. If he can't use Spectrum Brown to infect the colony, he'll resort to some kind of backup plan. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Look at this. The prototype had the opposite effect, and actually made you immune to the parasites.
Así que es posible que el sistema inmunitario destruya los parásitos antes de la fase larvaria.
Precisely. I see we're in your wheelhouse, Inspector. Or do you prefer Doctor?
Como tú
We're going to need
prefieres.
2 ingredients. A sample of essence of sprat, and 1 intact pod of parasite eggs. Cedric's warehouse in the Perea spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of sprat essence. As for the pod, I'd check the wilderness reserve if I were you.
Ah, te refieres a la nucleína de ratrucha, es común en los experimentos médicos.
I'm glad one of us is an expert. Most of what I know is based on Dr. Blossom's notes. Here's what I understand. Sprats have an adaptive immune system. They don't suffer from the diseases and parasites they carry. It's one reason why you'll see them in every corner of the colony. Dr. Blossom experimented with sprats and accidentally discovered a way to become immune to the parasites. That's probably when she decided to switch to human testing.
Debería poder sintetizar un antiparasitario.
You're a scientist and an inspector? You really are full of surprises. I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab. Used the ingredients to synthesize an antiparasitic.
Pan comido.
I'm glad I could count on your expertise. Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. We'll hijack the control system and disperse the cure into the atmosphere. That should kill off most of the parasites.
No tan rápido, préstame la hipodérmica.
Are you worried I'm gonna shoot you in the back?
Ya estoy haciendo yo todo el trabajo, merezco sentirme como un héroe de Teléter.
You're right. You do deserve the spotlight. Here. You take good care of my Needler, and it'll take good care of you.
Si querés te doy el arma esta de investigación. Gracias.
There is one other thing. While you're at Perea's spaceport, have a word with Cedric Kincannon. I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a chance to eliminate Ludovico. We could use him on our side. Best of luck, Inspector. I'm counting on you.
Quería preguntarte sobre Belinda.
Why, Inspector? Am I being questioned?
Exacto, y te recomiendo que colabores.
Mind your tone, Inspector. I'm not some Edgewater rube you can shake down for answers. Belinda and I shared the role of Helen. But she was also the only person who knew the real me. To the rest of the colony, I'm Halcyon Helen. But to my sister, I was just Ruth. I could be myself around Belinda. And she could be herself around me. She was my only sister, but she was also my only friend.
¿Nadie más sabía que tenías una hermana gemela?
Parents, naturally. An agent, a couple of directors. None of them had any reason to reveal the truth. To them, Helen was a brand. Revealing our secret meant damaging that brand. Damaging that brand meant losing money. Nobody in this colony wants to lose money. Belinda and I saw Helen as an act of theatric sleight of hand. We enjoyed the deception, the challenge. We wanted to see how far we could go.
Pues yo diría que bastante lejos. Os convertisteis en las estrellas mejor pagadas de Alcyon.
And if I hadn't underestimated Ludovico, you and I probably wouldn't be talking about Belinda in the past tense. We wouldn't be talking about her at all. It should have been me in that ballroom. Belinda died because I was careless. Never mind that. If you've got something else to ask me, now's the time.
¿A Belinda le costaba mantenerse oculta?
No. Belinda enjoyed the secrecy. She could slip into the role of Halcyon Helen, attend social events on my behalf, perform a few stunts, deliver a few lines. And then, when she grew tired of all the people and all the attention, all she had to do was slip out of the role and be my sister again. She was the secret twin. She had a comfortable life in the shadows, an easier life. I made sure of that.
Una vida más fácil en Bizancio mientras el resto de la colonia se muere de hambre.
Do you really expect me to apologize for my success? Because let me tell you something. If you ask a Byzantine to show compassion for the working class, you are asking to be lied to. Besides, Belinda and I spent our lives giving the workers of Halcyon hours of entertainment to help them escape the humdrum routine of their daily lives. Isn't that enough?
Touché. Es suficiente para mí.
I'm glad we're in agreement. So is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Has matado a gente inocente, ¿de verdad creías que iba a parecerme bien?
Yes, Inspector. I did. Leora Blossom and Maria Keene were on Ludovico's side. They chose to stand between me and my sister's killer. I had to cross them off.
¿Qué pasó exactamente entre la gendarme Keene y tú?
Would you believe me if I said I gave the constable a chance? I spoke to her in her office. I told her everything. Belinda, Ludovico, the parasites, all of it. Maria said I was guilty of corporate sabotage and that she had a duty to report me. She told me how sorry she was, and I told her the same thing. And then I shot her. Maria was defending my sister's killer. If someone murdered one of your crew in cold blood, what would you do?
Alguna misión secundaria, supongo. No tengo tripulación, estoy solo.
Really? Then who are they?
¡Ay!
Oh, I'm Parvati. Parvati Holcomb.
¿Por qué estás acá, Parvati?
And she ain't even looking at me. Okay.
Anda ya, anda a cocinar algo.
I'm just a box hauler.
A soon-to-be freelance wildlife expert.
I'm a lone gun at heart.
Son mi
Captain's
comité.
the latest of many.
Me dan consejos.
This damn unit is currently registered in a lifetime contract to Captain.
Who are we? That's the eternal question, isn't it?
You've got a fine crew. Make sure you take good care of them. Is there anything else?
Bertie llevaba esta tableta, creo que es tuya.
Yes, this is mine. I'd kept notes on everything I suspected, everything I'd discovered. It's all here, all in code. Belinda and we had a secret way of communicating. Words and phrases that had a special meaning to us. Numbers and dates that were only important to the two of us. Only 2 people in the universe knew that language.
Aquí la tienes.
That's gracious of you. I know you think I'm a cold-hearted murderer, so I'm a little surprised.
¿Qué pasó exactamente la noche del asesinato?
You don't know how many times I relived this moment in my mind. I discovered what Ludovico was up to when I toured the orchards. I threatened to expose his plan. Ludovico decided to eliminate me. He programmed Burbage 3001 to fire on his command and disabled the security cameras in the ballroom. Only, he didn't know about Belinda. I'm sure he thought it was my skull he caved in with a bottle of Spectrum Brown. Burbage covered his blow with the plasma shot, and then Ludovico wiped his memory.
Ahí fue cuando decidiste darle casa.
Something like that. I had a problem I had to sort out first. You were an unknown variable. I didn't know what to make of you. I went after Leora Blossom, and you were just one step behind me. I programmed an automech to steal some explosives from Cedric, but you weren't far behind. You were always hot on my heels, one step behind and catching up. I realized I'd have to throw in with you or eliminate you.
Quiero escuchar la historia completa, cuéntame qué ocurrió.
It's a long story, Inspector.
Bueno, tenemos tiempo. Pues más te vale empezar ya.
It was supposed to be just another marketing job. Rizzo's wanted Halcyon Helen to be the face of Spectrum Brown. Some hideous concoction served with a dead parasite. All we had to do was spend a few weeks on Eridanos, shake some hands, sign a few autographs, drink a bottle of Spectrum Brown in front of a camera, and try to smile. Belinda didn't want to go, but I wanted a change of scenery. In any case, we couldn't possibly say no.
¿Por qué no quería venir Belinda?
Belinda always hated endorsement deals. They felt cheap to her, inauthentic. She always believed her first priority was to our fans, and not the company that bought us out.
¿Qué pasó cuando llegaste a Eridano?
Belinda and I arrived on Eridanos and played our usual game of trading places. We were practically flawless. Even Ludovico didn't know about us. Belinda was unhappy for the first few days, but then she met Bertie Holcomb. Bertie treated her like a human being and not just an Aetherwave icon. They were just about perfect.
¿Y por qué rompieron?
Bertie didn't know the truth about Belinda and I. He thought he was dating Ruth Bellamy, and Belinda... she didn't want to lie to him.
¿Le pediste que rompiera con él?
Of course not. She was my sister. I'd never stand in the way of her happiness. Belinda ended her relationship with Bertie all by herself. She didn't want to lie to him, and she couldn't tell him the truth. So she let him go.
Lo conocí, no se tomó la ruptura nada bien.
Bertie had a temper, and that worried me. But in the end, he was a decent enough fellow. Bertie wasn't the person I should have kept an eye on. It was Ludovico. I had a feeling Ludovico was hiding something. Belinda stayed busy socializing with the celebrities around the complex. That gave me some time to do a little digging.
He oído que insististe en visitar los huertos.
I saw everything. The test subjects, the parasites. Spectrum Brown was never safe to drink. Those harmless, dead parasites at the bottom of every bottle. They were just dormant. They would have sold out in a month. This colony loves novelty. They'll eat up any new product we toss their way. A new cereal, a new Spectrum flavor. Ludovico knows that. From Emerald Vale to Byzantium. A parasite in every brain and a grin on every face. Every last one of us trapped behind a mask of joy. That's what Ludovico wants.
Ludovico se dio cuenta de lo que tramabas, pensó que revelaría sus planes.
I was careless. I was risking Belinda's life every step of the way, and I never even realized. My regrets are my own to bear. But for what it's worth, thank you. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
No. Eso es todo. ¿Qué carajo? Ups. Están todos transformados. ¿Cómo pasó esto? Se pusieron a tomar el espectro vodka bombón. Mierda. ¡Ah! Dale, dale, dale. Y el Cedric también habrá quedado con el gusanillo.
We are victorious.
Vamos. ¿Para dónde estaba la oficina del tipo? Estaba por... acá. Mueran. Ahí abajo. Mierda. Denle armas al menos, así la verdad que no tienen nada que hacer. Bueno, vamos.
Law, how'd you get in here alive? You are alive, yeah? And not one of them?
No.
You look clean. Good. You'd better get inside with the others.
Está el señor Cedric acá. No estaba en su oficina.
Go ahead without me. My legs are shaking too hard to...
Dale. Cedric, tenemos un problema.
Inspector, you made it. Well done. I'm afraid you may find the spaceport is, at the moment, less hospitable than usual. My apologies. Regardless, you must have some purpose here. Do tell.
¿Qué ha pasado aquí?
Whew. Whatever it was, it happened quickly. Like a wave sweeping across the shore. We were overrun. Survivors are still trickling in. We've put out a call to Slug agents not at the docks to keep their distance. With the warehouse's stores, Slug could hold out here for weeks, easily. Possibly months.
Ludovico está detrás de todo. ¿Me ayudarás a acabar con él?
Oh, my. You mean Lou was up to no good this whole time?
No sé. Y la cosa no acaba ahí. Pretende infestar a toda la colonia con gasterópodos.
It's an ambitious plan, I'll give him that. But tell me, why should I help you, Inspector?
No sé qué querés a cambio. Trato de apelar a tu buen corazón.
Always best to make sure a man has a better nature before you appeal to it. All right. But you're not to take this as confirmation I have one. Understood? You can expect Slug support. I'll arrange for my agents to meet you at the distillation station.
Diles que lleven sus mejores armas y cualquier problema personal que quieran solventar con violencia.
I'll do that. I think one of our checkpoint guards is going through a divorce. As thrilled as I am to assist you in taking down Lou, we have barricaded ourselves in here for a reason. I imagine you have a plan for getting out of the spaceport safely?
Disparando. Voy a propagar un antiparasitario, ya casi está listo.
Are you really? Inspector, you are a marvel. Excellent work. I'll admit, I'm awfully fond of my agents. To see them restored will be a great weight off my soul.
Uy, maté unos cuantos. Estoy trabajando con Cayetana en la elaboración de un antiparasitario. Necesitamos esencia de ratrucha.
With Helen? You don't say.
Es una historia demasiado larga como para contártela ahora.
That's not terribly surprising, considering present circumstances. This anti-parasitic, it would restore my people to their original, non-infected selves? Safely?
¿Prefieres mejor que los deje como marionetas controladas por gasterópodos?
Law, but you like your extremes, don't you? Well, I'll take my people's probable cure over their guaranteed death. Coincidentally enough, Slug can supply you with essence of Sprat. Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman, you remember her? There's a package on the desk in her office. You'll find the essence of Sprat you need in there.
Bien. ¿Quién pidió la esencia de ratrucha?
Oh, I wouldn't like to say. A customer-supplier confidentiality and all that. Now then, is there anything else I can do for you while you're here?
Ese antiparasitario que comentaba necesita esencia de ratrucha para lograrlo. Sí, pero ya lo sabe. Es todo por ahora. Ahí arriba. A ver. Tengo que hablar con vos, Ela. Hace falta que hablemos.
Hey, Inspector! You're alive! That's terrific!
O sea, ¿cómo te va?
Can't complain. Still slug-free.
Qué
That
bien.
is, I'm still slug, obviously, but I haven't been slugged. You know what I mean.
Ajá. Necesito esencia de ratrucha. ¿Te queda algo en el almacén?
You need... what? Why?
Es para un antiparasitario que estoy preparando.
No kidding. I should have known you'd be on top of things. That must be what's on my desk. We just got it in. Couldn't find it on any of our shipping orders, and none of us could figure out what in law's name it was. You're welcome to it. Just so you know, it's got a bit of a weird smell.
Cuídate.
You too, Inspector.
No, ¿dónde mierda está? Esencia de ratrucha.
Essence of
Perfecto.
Sprat? Why would anybody
Y
keep a
necesitamos
vial
una
of-
bolsa de
Never mind, I
huevos.
don't wanna know.
Y acá también hay. Ok.
I just want to be your friend!
No les creo. Yo creo que me quieren escupir con esa mierda. Ay, no tenía nada. ¿Dónde estaba la puerta? ¿Y dónde está la bolsa? Ahí arriba. ¿Cómo hacemos para llegar ahí arriba? No lo sé. Una pregunta, gente. Dale, abrite. Abrite. Ay, la puta madre.
Easy.
¿Mm? Arriba. ¿Qué mierda? ¿Qué es esto? Huevos. Sí, dame los huevos. Nivel 49. ¿Hace falta matarlos? Hace falta. Absolutamente necesario. Son muy peligrosos para este mundo. Mierda, ¿qué pasa? Pared invisible. Ok. ¿Y esto?
Watch out, Captain.
¿Qué pasa? Esta mierdita.
Quite a team, my friend.
Y ya tenemos todos los ingredientes. Bien. Muy. Mega huésped cánido. Ah, ¿pueden infectarlos estos también? Increíble. Bien. Bueno, vamos con la rubia. Platinada. ¿Será su color natural? Lo dudo. No, todavía quedan. Todavía queda mierda. Oh. Cuidado, vicario, te estoy disparando a vos. Oh. Au. Cárgate. ¿Qué pasa con este? Le agarró miedo. Esto. Me muevo muy lento. Ok. Anda a cagar con esta mierda. Bueno, y no queda más. No queda nada más. Perfecto.